Welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. In the last episode, we defeated Phantom at Neverland. Now we're at the second to last episode, where we fight, who in my opinion is I'd say he's the second most powerful boss, generally speaking, in the game. Looks like Herc's shield is actually better than the Genji shield, so I'm keeping that on Goofy. That's kind of sad, actually. Wow, the Genji shield really must be the most useless shield. And I'm just getting some good equipped spells that I think are going to be very useful in this fight. Curaga and Aurora are a must, and then I would advise having either Fire or Thunder for your final hotkey. Now, as for your items, you need to have all Mega Elixirs, no doubt. All Mega Elixirs for your items. Even more so than the final opponent, because you only fight the final opponent with Sora. The strongest opponent in the game, in my opinion, you fight only with Sora. So, Elixirs will really be enough for him. But as for this one, Mega Elixirs because you're fighting it with your whole party. And yeah, that's the basic gist of it. So talk to Carpet. Instead of Tinkerbell in Neverland, you talk to the Carpet in Aladdin's house, and he'll take you here, to this arena in the middle of the desert, where you face off against Kurt Zisa. Some people think this is the hardest opponent in the game. Like I said, it's kind of a toss-up between him, Phantom, and the final guy who we haven't fought yet. In my opinion, it's the final guy. But this guy, Kurt Zisa, what he's done to us just now is cast a spell which, just like Phantom, is unique only to him. He basically locked us in place so we can't use magic, which means no curing. That's right, until you break those two, like, curse balls of his, you can't actually cure yourself. You need to be able to use potions to cure yourself, or in our case, Mega Elixirs. Now, this fight is substantially easier for us now because we have insane equips that will greatly reduce the amount of damage that he does to us. Typically, Kurt Zisa can kill you in about 4 hits, on just about any difficulty. 4 or 3 hits. Later on, it's more like 3 or 2, because he just gets stronger attacks. Anyway, after you take care of the curse balls, his head is going to try attacking you. It can basically snap at you like a snake. What you have to do is jump up and hit it, to counter it for some tech points and stop it from biting you, and then go after it with combos. Hit it quickly and as much as you can and as hard as you can with your Keyblade, because each time that he has that little frame of weakness, it's going to get shorter and shorter like Ice Titan, but unlike Ice Titan, it just makes him harder and harder to damage each time. Now, finally we're going to be using summons in this battle, because summons are actually useful against Kurt Zisa's second form. He's going to keep switching between his 2 forms for every time that you get a chance at hitting his weak spot, the snake head. The first form is swords, as you can see, physical attacks. In the second form, he has magical attacks. Now, they're not nearly as devastating as his physical ones. I'll run over what they are a little bit later, but first I think it would be more prudent to explain the summons. What you have to do is just damage his giant magic sphere with magic attacks. Only magic attacks can hurt that sphere. And summons apparently count as magic attacks, and they're actually the most efficient. Mushu is the best summon for going after Kurt Zisa with, just because he's able to dish out so much over such a long period of time. It's recommended that you go after Kurt Zisa with a Keyblade that enhances your summon techniques, like either Lionheart or something really balanced like Oathkeeper. So either Lionheart or Oathkeeper are really good Keyblades to select. Of course, because the Ultimate Weapon has all ultimate attributes, it also means that it makes your summons stronger and last longer than ever before. So, really, you can't lose. You have nothing to lose by going after it with the Ultimate Weapon besides the proper difficulty setting of the fight. And quite honestly, this fight's an absolute bitch, so I would recommend going after it with whatever you have at your disposal to make it as painless as possible. I personally don't feel so bad about going after Kurt Zisa with the Ultimate Weapon. It's for once, it's nice to be able to know that I can defeat him without having to fight him a million times, and try and fail miserably each time. So now that we've knocked him down, using that summon, the snake hit is open for a little bit more damage. So damage it as much as you can during that time, because it's not going to stay out for very long. After it disappears back into the shell, it's going to, just like I said, it's going to give you less and less time to hit it each time. Once he starts taking a lot of damage, his physical form becomes more dangerous, because he's going to start using Hurricane Blade attacks. Not only has he locked your healing in place, now he's going to start hitting you with very hard to dodge attacks that on normal difficulty settings usually take 2 or 3 hits to kill you. Here's how you dodge them. Basically, when he spins at you horizontally, like on the side, like that, when he spins at you like that, you can jump over that. You're supposed to jump over that one. You can't really dodge roll that. When he spins at you vertically like that, you need to dodge roll out of the way at an angle. So vertical spin, dodge roll out of the way at an angle, and horizontal spin, jump over him. So it's kind of like this giant acrobatics act that you have to keep up while not being able to heal. Hence why Kurt Zisa is considered to be extremely difficult by most people playing this game, or whoever got the chance to clash with him. Also, little trivia fact, his name Kurt Zisa is actually because there's this guy, apparently, I think in Brooklyn, whose name is Kurt Zisa, who won a contest from Square Enix that basically allowed him to get his, or I should say Square, it was Square at the time. They said, we'll put your name in our game, and in this case, Kurt Zisa's name got put into Kingdom Hearts as this optional boss, which is pretty damn cool, actually. And I know that in later Kingdom Hearts games, there are some bosses, or at least one boss, that has some weapons and stuff inspired by Kurt Zisa, which is kind of cool. Kurt Zisa is a well-designed boss. He's just really difficult to defeat, and there's really not too much of a reason to go after him besides just the claim that you defeated him. Same reason for most optional things in this game. Or I suppose, just about fighting or completing any game, really. I mean, it's not like... Then again, you're getting deeply philosophical here, talking about what really matters. I suppose what matters is that you have fun, and if you have fun fighting something challenging, then it's more worthwhile. There's a certain point where a challenge just becomes not fun, and Kurt Zisa isn't quite there. I mean, he's fun even at his hardest. No matter how difficult and annoying of a fight he is, he's fun to fight. That's the bottom line. That being said, it's good that they left him optional, because if they made him something you had to do to progress in the game, I think most people would have given up. And I think I should explain more about his various attacks. His sword attacks are fairly easy to predict, as you can see. Whenever you shatter a curse ball, it drops some green HP orbs for you to heal. So it's kind of a godsend on difficulty settings, like, well, for like normal circumstances, because you won't be able to heal as easily as I can, because you won't be able to take nearly as many hits. Honestly, I've not done a very good job of avoiding all his hits here. Particularly, it's the vertical chop that's really difficult to avoid, although I guess the horizontal one's pretty bad too. Mainly it's his sword attacks that you need to watch out for. His magic abilities aren't actually that dangerous in my opinion. Let's see, what are his magic abilities again? Yeah, he can summon some tornadoes around you that do a little bit of damage to you if you run into them. Really not that bad. He's got this one where he's kind of like drops little fire, like frag grenade style orbs around. He scatters them. You're going to see him here more clearly. We're summoning Genie this time because he's the second best after... I almost said Morshu. Lamp oil, rope, bombs? No, Mushu. Genie's the second best after Mushu. He doesn't do quite as much damage, but because you can't use Mushu twice, at least to my knowledge, you're going to want to use Genie again. And if you didn't know a little thing about how summons work, you have to have your party members in order to use summons, because they go away for you to use your summon. So that's just a little trivia fact there. I mean, we're never really going to be using summons again after this, but I figured I might as well explain them better to you. And this is his final magic attack. Kurt Zisa buries these little magic orbs in the sand, and they trail around and then jump out of the sand to try and hit you. You really basically just avoid them by dodge rolling. That's what I do anyway. So dodge roll and heal, because, like I said, we established earlier that he can't really... He doesn't put a magic counter on you. I mean, he doesn't put a magic block on you in his magic-resistant form. Yeah, in the form that you need to use a magic on. Ugh, he's difficult to explain. Lots of balls in the air in this fight. So just one more hit, and I think we'd be able to open that that core, but I want to have our party members back before we really open the core, because then we'll have more people to damage him with, and I want to kill the snakehead the next time it comes out. We'll just have barely enough time, probably, to kill him, so we're going to need to make the best of it. Alright, now just a couple more normal spells will do him in. Maybe fire or something. Fire is the best, in my opinion. Fire or thunder. If you ever start running out of MP, hit his magic shield and it will drop some MP balls for you. That's my advice. Now let's finish this fight already. I've seriously had enough of Kurt Zisa. Man, now he's just spamming us with his annoying little magic orbs. Okay, we got him now. In for the kill. Alright, one more. Yes, we got him. Whew! And that long battle is finally done. Kurt Zisa has toppled at last. A lot of people who are probably hoping for him to go out in some kind of big explosion will be disappointed, but I personally think this is kind of a cool death scene. If you can even call it a death, because Heartless don't really die. That's so epic, actually, how they're, like, running away from him. And then he just turns into a heart, like, big whoop. So apparently, wow, he must have been born out of some really evil game designer's heart to make a big evil heartless that horrible. I think he gives you the second most amount of EXP in the game, which is kind of telling as he's supposed to be the second most dreadful opponent you face. Anyway, now that he's done, there's only one person left, in my opinion the strongest one, and we're going to be facing off against him back at the Coliseum next episode. He was available to fight basically as soon as you sealed the Hollow Bastion Keyhole. It opens up the Hades Cup, and him, strangely enough. Ice Titan is only unlocked after you finish the Hades Cup. But don't be fooled. This guy is without a doubt at least definitely tougher than Ice Titan. And for me, I feel like he's sweeps ahead of Phantom and Zisa in terms of difficulty. Some people, just because of the magic counters and the Doom spell, find Phantom and Zisa more powerful and more difficult. But I have never defeated this guy on Expert before, at my current level. You'll see exactly who he is in the next and final episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. See you then.